Riptide is in what I think is the best position he's been in since he's come out with High Seas dropping. And I've been so excited to retool my deck a little bit, moving away from what I did have and bringing in some of the cool new goodies from High Seas. And I wanted to break them down in a deck tech for you today. Firstly, I'm gonna go over what I bring into equipment. In every match, I have no sideboard equipment. Love the green stinky boy. I'm playing Redspine Manta Riptide, which I've heard some chatter doesn't work, but I think it's really fun. And with some of the new toys that we got from High Seas, I really like how it plays into the decision points between loading with Redspine versus loading with Riptide, because Riptide loads face down. So it's really interesting there. I'm also bringing in a Quiver of Abyssal Depths because this deck chews through itself. It goes very fast. And this is just a nice little insurance on the back end for arrows that I want that I can get back if a game goes longer than I want it to. Next, I'm bringing New Horizons in. New Horizons is a fucking must. It is an absolute need in this particular version of Riptide that I'm playing. I need those extra slots, especially when I have hands that maybe don't convert so well. Bringing 6 cards into the next turn is really nice and helpful. Got Trench of Sunken Treasure next. Trench is just a must. I have cards in here that I just do not want to arsenal, and sometimes you see them off a ponder, and turning those into 1 resources is nice when it's like, shit, you know, I want 5 cards. Sharpshooters are next, just for the kind of tech that I'm playing. I'm really valuing aim counters on certain cards. I'm looking for those aim pieces. It's also Battle Worn 1, which is really nice. And then Flight Paths, another aim piece, another Battle Worn 1 piece. I know Sea Lace Sarong is like hype right now, and I know Perch Grapplers is just that, but like I said, I'm valuing the aim, and this lets me go wide on turns where I can throw really nasty odd hits and also continue my turns. So I'm bringing 2 aim pieces, 2 Battle Worn pieces. They're really nice. Beautiful tokens. All right, now I'm gonna move to the arrows in the deck. Firstly, for the arrows, I'm running 6 of Bolton Shots. I'm running reds and blue Bolton Shots. Thinking about playing yellows, but I don't think I need them. I think 6 is fine as far as go again. Honestly, I think 6 just feels good, at least in what I'm playing, 6 Bolt Shots. Next, I'm playing 3 Drill Shots. This deck is very aggressive. This deck wants to hit my opponent, especially with key attacks. And something that can be a problem is a lot of block value in equipment with decks like Guardians or even Rune Blades. Just a fridge is hard to chew through when most of my attacks don't have evasion. They just present tall or maybe a little bit more wide. So Drill Shots are really nice because they're not something that everybody really wants to respect all the time, but they are gonna weaken equipment. So best case scenario, I hit my opponent with them and it takes off equipment. Slightly worst case scenario is they just block with that equipment anyway. Swift Shots, the first new arrow out of High Seas that I'm showing here. These are fucking nasty. They're 0 for 4s with go again, you load them face up. Red Spine into a swift shot at the start of your turn is so nice because you go Red Spine, load in a Swift Shot, play a buff, activate Riptide, arsenal another arrow. Now you're fucking cooking. You're fucking cooking. Ranger's got a 0 for 4 that is an arrow, and it's really nice that we don't have to play Rabbles. Dry Powder Shot, the second arrow from High Seas that I put in here. It's a 0 for 3/3 block, but when it's loaded face up, it gets +2. So it is a 1 card 5 on turns where that's all you can do, right? If you got to give up most of your hand to block, you can't really do much. You just go Red Spine, Dry Powder Shot, here's 5 after blocking however much I needed to. So it's a great way to continue to push damage, and it's also 0 cost, and it's 5 damage. It's really great. This is my aim package, Stone Rain and Murky Water. So these are the threats. These are usually the way that you kill people in this deck, is both of these get dominate when you aim them. That's why I'm bringing in the hand pieces, and that's why I'm playing a lot of the pumps that I'll show later. Stone Rain, I call it Terrify. It hits your opponent, they banish a card out of their hand face down, they get it back before they arsenal. So it's just a really long Intimidate. I think it's an awesome disruption piece. It needs to be respected, but sometimes it can't be respected when you give it Dominate. Murky Water, same thing. It has most of its text regardless of if it's aimed or not, but if it is aimed, it does get that evasion in +1 and dominate. So you can aim it, send it at your opponent, ensure that it hits, and then you get to recycle 3 traps and keep your disruption going in the form of traps as well as your damage. It's great, it's a great card. Lastly, I have Intoxicating Shots. Blues, they're 0 for 4 blues. They're awesome. 0 for 4 blues. They give your opponent a Courage and a Quicken, but that just turns on every trap you can want. So it's in the name, right? Intoxicating Shot. It's a nice trade-off. And then when I find my Frailty traps or my Tar Pit traps after they've taken that, it's just free damage again. And Easter eggs. Easter eggs are just great. They extend turns. They're a great chain ender at 7. They just feel really, really good in the deck. And these are all the main board attacks. I'm running 27. Next, I'll go over the pumps. I'm running 19 front pumps, or just pumps for my arrows in this deck. Immediately premeditates, right? Premeditates are just the cream of the crop. +3, everything threatens a ponder until I get it. And in this deck, you do have the option to go wide sometimes. So you send that first one, it doesn't hit. You send that second one, it hits, and you're like, I got the ponder anyway. It's nice. It's a great, great pump. Playing 3 Lace with Blood Rots. This I know is gonna catch some heat. I am valuing damage over disruption mostly in every matchup. I wanna just race you down to sub 10 or sub 11 and then trap you to death is the name of the game here. So I'm playing all 3 Lace with Blood Rots, and I'm just hoping that I can race you down to a point where the other half of my plan can kind of clean up. 2 Lace with Frailty, 2 Seek and Destroys. This is when I'm saying I'm gonna catch some heat. I'm only playing 2 Seek and Destroys, and the Frailties do come out in certain matchups, but Seek and Destroys are nice, they're great. I am, once again, just valuing damage over disruption. Point the tip and line it up. These are additional ways to aim in my deck. Line it ups are amazing when you have a Line It Up, a Murky Water, and a blue in hand. It's just a 3-card 10 that gets back a trap, and it's just perfect play. Point the tips are one of those cards that I said you just never want to arsenal. You can't arsenal them because they have to target a face-up arrow in your arsenal. So unless it's the second card from a New Horizons arsenal, they're just dead and they lock your arsenal out. That's why we need Trench in this matchup, or in this deck. That's why we need Trenches. Lastly, Flying Highs. Flying High Reds. This deck is very aggressive red line list. Flying Highs give your next red +1, and they give your next attack go again. They're amazing out of high seas. I love them so much because they allow you to just have a way bigger turn than you should have had. Just giving anything go again is really fun. Now for the defensive pieces of a deck, this is where the D-Reacts are, or like the new block card out of high seas. I fucking can't say enough good things about this card, but I'm gonna get straight into it. Return Fires out of high seas. The best performing card I've seen in Riptide in so long. It's a 4-block, which Ranger needed ways to block, I'm gonna be real. It's a 4-block, it lets you pump your arrow on your next turn. It's 7 value on 1 card is nasty. And this Return Fire has made this deck so viable into mid-range matchups where you have to kind of trade cards for block and cards for damage. Like if you're not just pure racing, Return Fire is just amazing. Next I'm mainboarding 1 of Tripwire Trap. It's an unconditional point of Riptide trigger damage, which I do need in certain matchups. It's also a way to blank on hits. It's really good into Guardians where you can't really catch them with a Tar Pit trap or catch them with traps that have to trigger, because Guardians like to send 9 vanilla with a crush effect. And if they spend their whole hand to do that, then you Tripwire Trap them, they don't get the crush effect, and you get that unconditional 1 point of damage. I'm mainboarding 6 Go Again traps in 3 Frailty traps and 3 Tar Pit traps. I am looking to just eat other aggro decks. I want to just beat out other aggro decks as much as I can, and mainboarding a lot of Go Again hate is really the way I do that. Tar Pit traps are amazing into Assassin, into anything with that really values on hits and goes wide. RIP to Aurora, but it was so good to tar pit trap and attack, let that hit for 1, and then they don't get their CLV triggers. It was the best. Then I just have the 3 Riptide legendary traps. These are amazing. I never take them out no matter what. They're just so fun. Like Spike Pit Trap is dead 90% of the time, but they're so fun when they do trigger. Collapsing Trap and Bustle Trap are just absolute all-stars. So this is the main board defense options right here, and then I'll get into the sideboard right now. I start off my sideboard with 6 arrows, 3 Murkmile Grapnel, 3 Immobilizing Shots. Immobilizing Shots or for decks that want to go wide, decks that want to do multiple things a turn. It's also really good into Azalea or into Rune Blades, where they want to go non-attack, 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 attack, or play patterns like that, because when you aim them, they are a real threat, so they have to be respected, or you can seriously stunt those turns. Murkmile Grapnels are just for essentially just Prism, because Enigma's gone. They're just for Prism. I'm considering taking them out. We have 1 Prism. I have 1 Prism at my local area, so I do see play with them sometimes, but I am just considering taking them out and finding another place for them. All right. Now we have just the entire switchboard of traps. 2 Inertia Trap, 2 Blood Rot Trap, the last 2 Tripwire Trap, and 3 Boulder Traps. This is the decision point that I have at the beginning of every game, seeing the hero I'm playing against. What kind of deck are they? Are they a go tall deck? Are they a go wide deck? And then I just switch out accordingly. If I'm playing a deck that just wants to go really tall, doesn't send a lot of things, go again traps come out, the greater power than base traps come in, blood rots come into assassins, tripwire traps come into guardians no matter what. Like, I need the unconditional pings. Recently, in my last armory, I played against a Jarl, really close match. I got him down to 1 life, and then he sent a Macho Grande at the end of the game, but I had a tripwire trap in arsenal. Go, okay, here's tripwire, you take 1 damage no matter what, GG's. So it's a great feeling when it does work. These do have to come in against decks that normally wouldn't proc your traps. And that's it. That's my Riptide list that I've dubbed Redspine. It's really fun, very aggressive, can also switch into that mid-rangey give and take kind of play style. It is weak into fatigue. It is weak into decks that just want to sit there and block forever. It's something that I'm trying to figure out, but I have a lot of fun on it, and this is just my favorite hero. I think, I don't know, Katsu's great. This is just such a fun deck. I play it at my locals. I want to get out there and play it more. I'm hoping somebody out there will check this list out, maybe try it at your locals, tell me what you think about it. I'm eager to hear. So let me know what you think about the list down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check more of what we do out here at Swing Lethal. I am the Goblin of Swing Lethal, and I appreciate you being here. You're welcome.